All right, now still on panel structural work. Now the second method is that you have to download panel table. We have panel table for all the panel sizes. We have the table if you wish. Then we also have a contactor size table and the breaker size tables. But that is a long process. The best thing is once you build one panel, you'll be able to know the sizes of your component. So subsequent time, you can ideally know the size of panel that is suitable to accommodate your component. For instance, I have a breaker here, I have a breaker here, I have a breaker here, I have contactor, I have contactor, I have contactor. All you need to do is to know the measurement of this, the size of this. The size, that is the length of it, not the width. The length of it, the length of this. Multiply them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Multiply the whole of this component. Whatever value you have, you add space factor. There is always a space factor. Space factor is this for your panel. If I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the space factor is going to be the size of one of the items. If I have this up to the number of this, the space factor I will add to the length of my panel is a full object, a full device. If all of them are using uniform size, choose one of them. If they are using non-uniform size, when at the end of it, choose the biggest one, the big one among the whole of these devices. Choose them as your space factor. I repeat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 happens to be a contactor of different sizes. The biggest size among them, use it to add to another. Okay, let me put it now. This is my space factor. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I line them up here. Then I add additional one space to accommodate one of the item. So this is my space factor. Do that here too as well. The width, as all of them line them up, the width at the end of your width, add the space factor of one of the item. So that is the second method. When you are done with that, you now add the space for your trunking. This is the trunking. Space to accommodate your trunking. That is how to size your panel with your component. That is the method 2. As you work with this, you should be able to know the size of this one. Then as for the other components such as maybe your ray, for you to determine the size of your ray. Once you buy the ray, you know the size of the ray. So now start to do your structural work, right? Okay, so that is how to determine your panel component layer. So now let's start the building of our panel. Take away this, take away the whole of this. Don't need this. Okay, I've taken this as my template. Now take note, remember, each time you buy your empty panel, there's always what we call base plate or template plate. When you buy panel like this, let me form a panel. Let me form a panel. Let me form the template. Okay. For instance, this is my base plate. This is my template. When I buy the panel, you're going to see a template inside. That is base plate. You see it like this. So if this is the one I choose to use, you must make sure that all your component size the base plate. Okay, let me give you a clue. If this is my panel, this is the edge of my panel. There's always a template inside. So they will create allowance for you inside this way. So all your component must be built, lay inside the template provided inside the panel. So that's another guideline. So all your component, you must make sure you accommodate them here. So when I talk about your trunking should be able to be within this space. Within this space. This is the only where your trunking can pass. Yeah. So it should not exceed this. So this is your base plate, your tape plate. So this is your truncate, for instance. All right. So this is the whole panel edge. Then here is where you're going to lay all your components. So your measurement must confine within here. So to accommodate this. All right. So let's start building now. Wow. So because of I want to make it more elementary. So because of you, what I will do is that let me use this as my panel. Then let's insert and see if it doesn't match, we can now expand. Let's now insert our component. Okay, let me create need okay, I have this way. After that, I'll now put my trunk in. Get my contractor. Oh, it cannot go. Cannot go. If another one come here, there won't be any space. Remember, I have another smaller one. So let's change this template to a bigger template.